In this video, we're going to go over two sample problems where you're going to be the one who solves the right triangle for a missing angle given the lengths of two of its sides. All right, so print out the with the printed out worksheet that you have from before. These are going to go in examples 2 and 3 in those spaces in that worksheet. So you've got this examples to look through as you're doing the problems on your own. All right, so here are the steps that we're going through, and here is the triangle I want you to work from. So once again, pause the video, go through each of these steps for this triangle with that section in your paper. And if you get stuck somewhere, you can come through and watch the video and check your work with me step by step for what you were able to do. And when you get unstuck, pause the video again, keep on going through it. No lie, I think. I'm hoping that you're seeing the value of these little things like having our trig ratios up here. Our diagram of the right triangle. All right, marking my right angle. I want to label the two known sides. So here's 3 and 6. And the missing angle, the angle that I want to find, is angle U in this diagram. So this is the angle right over there. And so I'm going to write that theta, which looks like a capital O with a line halfway through it. Next thing we do in step 4 is we want to name these two sides of the triangle. So this is the leg that's on the opposite side of theta, so that's our opposite. This is the other leg. This is the hypotenuse over here, so this is the adjacent leg. So now that we've got the opposite and adjacent, which trig function relates those two sides? That's the tangent we're going to use in this problem. Okay, and so our next step, 6, is we're going to set up a trig function involving tangent. And so the tangent of our angle theta is equal to the opposite side over the adjacent side. Okay, we can simplify that, but it doesn't really matter because we're about to put these numbers into our calculator. And so if you want to take the extra step, this is just saying that to figure out what theta is, we're going to use the inverse tangent function of 3 over 6. So here's my calculator. I'm going to calculate 3 divided by 6. And then I'm going to calculate the inverse tangent for that. So if you've got a tangent to the -1 button on your calculator, that's what you're going to use. Otherwise, you want to look for your shift or your second button and figure out where that is. Okay, and so here, we're going to round this to the nearest degree. So what is that angle rounded to the nearest degree? Well, we're going to the degrees, so we're at 26, and we're going to round up. So theta is approximately equal to 27 degrees. All right, and let's do a second problem while we're here. So for the second problem, this is your diagram. Once again, we've got these 7 steps listed up here. No individual one of these steps is hard. You can step through this diagram, and as you're doing the homework problems, you're doing problems just like this. So you're going to be following these 7 steps. All right, and here's my diagram. There's my right angle. So this is 8.1. This is 9.3. You've seen in these problems, sometimes they have radicals, sometimes we have decimals, sometimes we just have straight whole numbers. None of these are problems. We're just going to divide these two numbers into the calculator. Which is the angle that we want to measure in this triangle? Is it this one or this one? Well, it says right here that we want to find the measure of angle I. So our theta is down there like that. What are these two sides relative to angle theta? The 8.1 is on the other side of the triangle, so that's our opposite. The 9.3 is the longest side. It's the side that's on the other side of the right triangle, so this is the hypotenuse. And we've got hypotenuse and opposite. What's our trig function? Which one of these has hypotenuse and opposite in it? It's sine. So sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So that's 8.1 over 9.3. So all we're going to do, bring up our calculator. What is 8.1 divided by 9.3? And then I want to find the inverse sine of that. Which angle has a sine value of 0.87 in a little bit? Inverse sine tells me that that is going to round up to 61 degrees. Okay, so hopefully you've got these problems listed down in the worksheet that I gave you. And so you're going to have 3 examples of this to go through when you're going through the homework and doing a bunch of new problems yourself. You've also got the steps up there, so it's just a matter of going through in the same way you did before. All right, so good luck with that. In the next video, we're going to step aside from problems where we're given triangles with just numbers in them, and we're going to start solving word problems where we build these diagrams ourselves.